Hi there, kiddos. It's story time. Come along with me, let's read a story. If a shoe doesn't fit you, you don't blame your feet. You just go to find one that does. True. That is 100% unequivocally true. Because you cannot control the size of your feet, though a few people have, especially the Chinese back in the day. I forget what century, what era, what kingdom, what have you, but they used to break women's feet and bind them basically to make them smaller. So, yeah, they tried, and it was horrible. So when a dress doesn't fit you, why blame your body? Well, it depends on the situation of what you're talking about, because sometimes if you got really big breasts, then the clothing's not going to fit you because of that, then yes, don't blame your body for that one. It's just, dress wasn't made for people with a large breast. But if you're talking about it not fitting around your stomach, that most likely means that you should blame your body because you're the one who's stuffing it in. Now, that doesn't mean you should be down on yourself because of your fat or what have you. But should mean that you shouldn't be going, it's just the dress fault. I'm perfectly healthy. I'm perfectly fine. It's like, well, yes and no. I mean, your body is, you control your body more because of the reflection of weight of what you choose to put in it is what transformed you are, what you eat basically. So if you just eat slop all day long, fatty, greasy slop, then you're going to become fatty. It's as simple as that. So you should blame your body if you're the one messing up. Now there's a difference of if a dress is too short on you when you're tall or too long on you when you're short. That's not something to blame your body for because you didn't control it. If it's about proportions that you did not control, but you can and do control how much you weigh. If you don't like how much you weigh, you can go on a diet, you can exercise. There's a lot of things you can do to change your body when it comes to weight. You can't change your height. Hell, even when it comes to that large breast thing I've talked about before, you can have a reduction. You can do a lot of things to fix it. And the idea of, well, don't blame your body. Well, blame you then because you're the one who kept eating cake after cake after cake and getting larger and larger. So, yeah. You are not meant to fit into clothes. Yes, you're meant to fit into clothes. Now, if you just don't fit into clothes, that's nothing major to get upset about. We all have that piece of clothing that we love, that we outgrew, either because we hit a growth spurt or we put on pounds. Maybe we lost weight and it just flooded on us now. But we still love it. It's beautiful. It's funny. It's whatever. So we are meant to fit into clothes, or at least it's a symbiotic relationship because they fit on us, but we fit into them like a glove or a shoe, for instance. I mean, a shoe is meant to fit onto you and you're meant to fit into the shoe. It's symbiotic. Clothes are meant to fit onto you. Yes, but you're also meant to fit into them because if something's on, then it's usually in, especially when it comes to clothes. Your hand, the glove is on your hand, but your hand is also in the glove. So, semantics. And if they don't, go ahead and find one that does. Which is true. I mean, don't sit there and pout about it. I mean, yeah, I can understand. Maybe you can get a tailor to let it out for you or what have you. I mean, a tailor is a person's best friend when it comes to fashion. So, it is kind of true about go ahead and find one that does. You should, but don't let the idea of like, oh, you eat whatever you want it's society's fault. It's the dressmaker's fault that you're fat. It's like, no, it's your fault. You're the one putting it in. I mean, there's a point where we need food, we need water, and we need air, but it's your choice on what food goes into you and what kind of water. That actress, Elizabeth Gillis, I think her name is, she talks about being a water snob. She likes certain waters, and that's her prerogative, basically. It's what she likes. Me, I don't like water. I usually will go for Kool-Aid if I'm thirsty or need some water. I'll go for milk, blah, blah, blah. So, everybody's got a prerogative of how to stay alive or what they like to do for staying alive. And that's eating, for instance. Some people will not eat animal. Some people will only eat fish or aquatic animals. I forget the name of the fish. Is Piscearian or something like Piscatarian. I can't remember. But it's the point of we choose what goes into us. I mean, if we're not kids anymore, then we choose. So, yeah, that dress not fitting you because it's too tight on you, that's kind of your fault. Now, there's a certain point of some people are just naturally big boned, or because of the height, they're kind of wide too, and it makes a dress also tight on a woman. And it's like, that's not her fault, but there's some points of if you don't put down those fucking Twinkies or ho-hos or snowballs, whatever, then yeah, the dress not fitting you is your fault, not the dress's fault. There's some things that are not made for us, and there are things that are made exactly for us. And we gotta realize that, hey, this is made for me, this isn't made for me. And so it's not like, hey, go life and everything that's not for you, it's because of something. Don't blame it on just some random force that it's not, because sometimes the person who's at fault is us. So, you define your wardrobe, not the other way around. Yes and no. Again, a symbiotic relationship, because if you're goth, you're not going to wear pastel colors. You're not going to be wearing cheerful, happy things and stuff like that. But it's the existentialistic idea, because it's kind of both. Because if you identify as a greaser, a goth, or what's the other one? A grunge, or whatever you would call a grunge person. The clothes matter. I mean, you can identify, but if you don't look it, a lot of people aren't going to think that you are, or what have you, even though you basically are. And so, like I said, it's a symbiotic relationship. Clothes do make the man, but the man makes the clothes, basically. He's the one who chooses what to wear. Same for, well, of course, for mankind is what I should say. So, we choose what to wear or what to collect in our closets. But it doesn't mean that our wardrobe, we define our wardrobe, and it doesn't define us. I mean, yes, it does, because somebody who wears a suit or what have you, day in and day out, is, I don't want to say posh, because I think that's a British thing, dapper. It's a dapper man. And the dapper man chooses to be dapper. And how does he choose to be dapper? He chooses the closet that is dapper. But the clothes make him dapper, too. I think that's it. Yeah. So, don't go around going, well, the dress doesn't fit me, and it's the dress's fault. No, it's your fault, because for some reason you just kept wanting to eat and eat and eat when you didn't have to. I mean, so sometimes, yes, dress ain't made for you because it's made for a smaller person, Maybe it's made for a taller person. Maybe it's made for a person with smaller breast. I don't know. Sometimes we got to realize that not everything's made for us, but sometimes we ruin our own opportunities. I could be one of the greatest athletes who ever lived, but I let my body go. I didn't take care of it, and I didn't try. So we got to realize sometimes when our dreams crash around us, it's not because of we didn't get the choice, or we didn't have the choice, or it wasn't available for us, but we let it slip by, we let it crash. And that's something with the world trip too. I mean, that's something we gotta realize. Sometimes our own life is our own fault. Yes, there's certain circumstances that make it not for us. I mean, I believe that when it comes to astronauts, you can't be over a certain height. I'm 6'4". I'm over that certain height limit, so I could never be an astronaut. So that's a job that is not meant for me. It's not something I can do because I'm too tall for it. So, like I said, there's things made for us, made not for us, and sometimes we let the opportunities go by. Hell, I'm 6'4". I could have been in the NBA if I really tried, if I really applied myself, but I didn't apply myself, so that's gone. It's because of me. It's not because I didn't get a chance, no one gave me a shot. No. Same for the dress. Sometimes it's not about, oh, well, we should accept ourselves. It's like, well, yes, we should, but at the same time, we shouldn't be accepting ourselves for damning us to a lower spot in life. So this is half correct. So I just want to point that out. Thank you for listening.